Look, my computer died like over a year ago, so that's why I haven't been making videos, because this phone is a piece of shit, and I haven't got very much memory, so I can't make the videos that I want to make, so I haven't made anything. I've just been sitting here reading the comments. But I'm really sick of this subject to the point that I need to make this video, because I keep doing Facebook statuses and shit, and people keep arguing with me, and nobody takes this information in. So I need a video that I can just send to people. So I'm sorry for the quality of it. I know it's shit, but it had to be done. Stop saving the fucking bees. Bees are useless. They were brought into most of the countries that they're in. They're not really indigenous, right? There are other insects that pollinate the actual nature. Bees are used for pollinating orchards, and the people that are banging on about saving the bees, right? These are the very same people that hate, like, big companies, you know? They're the kind of people who are like, oh, corporatism's awful. Save the bees? It's a fucking bee farm. It's a corporation, you fucking idiots. Work it out. Plants have been around. Like, bees evolved from plants, if you go back far enough, right? Plants were fine before bees existed. The world is fine. It's businesses that are trying to make you give a fuck and save the fucking bees, alright? Natural bees don't give a shit. They're still living their lives. It's the orchards. Most importantly though, even if the natural bees are struggling, which I doubt, right? Please remember, they're not the only pollinator in the world. There are loads and there are billions of insects whose entire life is pretty much pollination, because they get nectar and shit from plants. Loads of creatures get things from plants. Loads of them.
I have never seen a more despicable set of facts as I've seen.
And, you know, no bees, no plants, no food for anybody. So
go check out my video right now. So sick of Save the Bees. Bees are not the only fucking pollinator. There would definitely be plants. Bees are just fucking controlled.
And
Craig, you are promoting a very, very dangerous lie, and I will return every day until you at least acknowledge it. You can stay ignorant if you like, but you can't ignore that it is at the very least controversial. And yet later on he'll say it isn't in dispute, even though I said you can stay ignorant on the subject, but you can't ignore that it's controversial, because I am literally sitting here right now controvising it. Which lie? Which is fair enough, because he didn't see any of it. I'm not wrong. Stop ignoring the comments about bees. It's actually funny how you managed to... I know, that's just me hyperbole, right? All I'm saying there is, it is funny, though, that of all the notifications that you picked out, it was this one, rather than all the ones where I actually addressed the point. This one where I managed to not mention bees. I left like 4 comments, and the other 3 all said bees. Anyway, so I reiterated the comment. He said, I speak only facts, and then followed that up with, no bees equals no flowers, which is so stupid and so wrong, and that is the reason the planet is dying. It really is dangerous. This isn't hyperbole. Every time you save a bee's life, you are starving out the natural wildlife. That bee is owned by a freaking farm, and it's going to be gone soon. So after it's starved all your local insects out, so that they can no longer pollinate your local flowers, that fucking bee will be on the other side of the country doing the same thing over there, you fucking morons. Why is no one seeing this? Why am I the only one that sees this shit? Bee propaganda. Ha 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 ha. He finds that very funny. No, it's a fact. No bees equals no flowers. This isn't something that's in dispute. Literally started my comment with, you can't ignore that it's controversial because I am disputing it. Right at this very moment, this is me proving that the words that you're saying are already false before you've said them. You fucking idiot. You can't say that it isn't in dispute to someone who is disputing it. You freak. The fact that you think bees disappearing would be anything less than devastating to the ecosystem. So now, in his fucking world, he thinks that algae in the ocean is pollinated by bees. These people are fucking insane. Then he asked ChatGPT, which said, although not the only pollinator, it is one of the main ones and would destroy most of the world's crops if they went. Do you know why? Because crops are pollinated by bee farms. Do you know why crops are pollinated by bee farms? Because it's consistent. Because it's very human to turn everything into a fucking factory line that just goes along on this process. You can't leave anything to nature because nature is wild. Nature is chaos, and that ain't profitable. That's why. It's not because all the fucking crops would suddenly just disappear, you fucking idiot. What the fuck? And as if you think you need to tell me that bees are not the only pollinator. You fucking mental case. You're the one that needed that information, not me. So yes, I responded, yeah, crops, not flowers, human production, not nature. Work it out. You are literally killing the planet. It is in dispute. I've been disputing it for years. This is literally the hill I die on. My friends and family keep telling me to shut up about fucking bees. I will continue to dispute it because it's all lies. But he's gone. He's absolutely gone. Look, hours, 21 hours to 13 hours. Let it be known that Craig ran away after I showed that his ChatGPT response actually agreed with me. He did not acknowledge that he is dead wrong. He did not accept the chance to debate or talk to me about it. He just flat out ignored it and ran away. That is exactly why I struggle to get this message out. And I'm literally the only person in the entire fucking world who has noticed the beacon. What can I do? Popular people spread the lie over and over. It's just taken as blatant fact at this point. All of nature is being, all of the pollinators are being starved and dying. All the trucks are polluting the atmosphere as they drive the bees from place to place. And everyone's like, save the fucking bees because they look cute on an advert. Oh, they look so cute on an advert. Fucking morons, man. So none of his followers get to hear the truth. And we, people who respect him, we trust this man to be right about the things that we learn from him. I don't know fuck all about nuclear physics. I know very little about gravity. I know very little about a lot of things. But I tell you one thing that I know a lot more than you about is bees and the actual issue. Because I'm fucking autistic, you stupid cunt. I look into these things. Can you not tell I'm autistic? Just look at my channel. It's fucking obvious. I didn't actually get diagnosed until I was like 37. So I didn't know I was autistic until then. So it's diagnosed as high functioning autism. So I actually just joking. I don't blame you for not noticing, but I am actually autistic, and that does explain why I research these topics and ask the questions that nobody else asks. And it's the reason that I leave such good quality comments on your channel, Craig. And they are comments that I've noticed in later debates you actually taking the time to rephrase into your own argument, but you are using my arguments, Craig, because they're good arguments, because I see the world slightly differently from most other people. And you wouldn't believe how many times I've heard the line, I never thought about it that way. Sometimes I've got good points, and just because you're wrong and I'm right does not mean we are enemies. I am frustrated at the fact that you will not listen to me, that nobody will listen to me, and I am so right about this subject, and everybody just ignores it, man, because you're too lazy to do a second's research. You've seen some adverts on TV. That's the part that gets me, is that someone's paid for these fucking adverts, and there isn't a single thought in your mind that says, where's that money coming from? Where's the profit in telling us to keep the planet safe? If it was profitable to tell us to keep the planet safe, we'd hear a lot more messages about a lot of other stuff. Like, for fuck's sake, don't drive your car. Did you know, actually, at the minute, the most racist advert exists, right? It's British Gas. It's racist as fuck. I fucking hate it. Obviously, you guys, when you think of racism, you're thinking of different coloured skin, but I'm here to inform you, lads, that culturally, we're all, you know, if you live in fucking on the other side of Europe, I'm telling you now, you're just as much a different race from me as anyone from Africa or anywhere else in the fucking world, right? Fucking, they've got Einstein sitting down offering somebody a cup of tea and she goes, oh, very British. Einstein's fucking German, you stupid bitch. What do you mean a cup of tea is very British? What the fuck is that all about? He's offering him a biscuit or something. And then it starts playing fucking God Save the Queen. And he's like, which reminds me, it's supposed to be a dead fucking English. Well, if it's supposed to be dead British, mate, why the fuck have you got fucking Einstein in it? Oh my God, what's wrong with the fucking world? And why is it some shit cunt doing the worst accent ever? Oh, what is wrong with that advert? Is that meant to be a real advert? I hate that advert so much that I've gone off on such a tangent about how much I hate that advert that I've forgotten the point. I've literally forgotten the point that I was going to make about the advert because I fucking hate that advert so fucking much. What? Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, they're telling you how to save energy and, you know, you'll save the planet. But they're not really. That's not really the motive, is it? The motive is to get you to sign up with British Gas. You might be with someone else and you see this advert and you're like, oh, they care about the environment. I'll sign up with them, right? It's not because they actually care about the environment, so they thought, oh, we'll splash a shitload of money into an advertising campaign about fucking saving the planet with using less electricity. No, it's not that. It's fucking, what's it called? That thing that people do on Twitter all the time. They're trying to say, oh, look at us. We care about the environment and we care about your wallet. It's not that. You got a smart meter, you fucking idiots. You're selling a smart meter. So, when you saw all these adverts literally everywhere saying, save the bees, did not a part of you think, that's bee farmers who keep losing the bees and people keep twatting them out of the sky? Did that not occur to you? That it wasn't anything to do with wild bees? Trust me when I say, wild bees are fucking fine. There's nothing wrong with them, they're fine. They haven't had a problem. They've just been getting on with their lives, not even noticing any of this bullshit. The only people that care, literally the only people that care, are bee farmers, you fucking morons. Even actual farmers could find a different way of pollinating the crops. And this is where the real danger is, right? Because you're as obsessed with using bees as you are with petrol. Literally, everyone laughs at Elon Musk because he's a con artist, and I appreciate that. However, he's done an awful lot for electric cars. And let's be honest, like, in the 90s, we all thought electric cars would be flying around by 2000, right? I genuinely worked out I was going to be 16 in the year 2000 and thought that'd mean I'd be able to buy a fucking flying car when I passed my driver's license a year later. Genuinely, that is true. But now look at us, we're so addicted to petrol because it's easy and we're lazy. And we're so addicted, well, we not, but the bee farmers and stuff are so addicted to using bee farms. You've heard me preach against vegans and tell them that they are in the right and everything is going their way and it's just a slow process while we start to make, you know, mass produce burgers in the lab and whatever, you know, just the same as TVs, right? When TVs first fucking came out, they was fucking expensive, and now you go down the shop, you can buy a TV for a tenner, and it'll be the same with these fucking laboratory burgers. And that was my entire argument. You are winning, but you're trying to push too far, too fast, too hard, and it's going to destroy everything, right? But even then, I was saying caged farms should be illegal. caged hens and all that factory farming bullshit should be against the law. It would change things if you would change the law rather than trying to change human beings. We're not going to change, but also we're quite good at following the law. So if you said, you know, no factory farms, they could all get shut down fairly quickly, right? Well, I genuinely now, I know this is quite hard for some of you to believe, I hate bee farms 20, 30, 40 times more than I hate factory farms. And that is no fucking word of a lie. Because factory farms, you've got some animals in there suffering. But bee farms, you've got all the animals out here suffering. Literally all of nature is relying on those pollinators. And not just, you know, you might, when I say the word pollinators, I fucking mean pretty much every insect I can think of. Anything that survives off nectar or like sugars to keep it moving is a pollinator, because that's where they get those sugars from. They climb all over plants and they take a little sip, and then they climb around and they go to another plant and they take another fucking sip. And in doing so, they're traveling about your local fucking area, reharvesting all your local fucking plants like nature fucking intended. And when they get to all these plants and realize, oh, some fucking massive fat genetically modified bees that they've spent so much money on genetically modifying that they had to have an advertising campaign convincing every person in the world not to touch them. Like, leave them alone. No, they're not going to sting you. You can stroke them. Fuck you. Fuck you all. Wake the fuck up. Kill the fucking bees. Protest the bee farms. Bring back nature. What do you think the future's going to look like? Seriously, man, I could rant about this all fucking day. I hate you all. Kill the bees. So, for anyone interested on a quick little update, Fight the Flat Earth is now conceding that the only plants he cares about are crops. He's saying to me, you think crops aren't flowers, which is obviously fucking retarded. But what he doesn't seem to understand, that not all flowers are crops, you fucking mental case. I don't even get that. If bees only pollinated crops, there wouldn't be an issue, you fucking idiot, because they wouldn't be starving out all the local insects, you absolute freak. How do you not get this? Fucking hell. Alright. This is the only place I know where I might actually get heard. Can we stop saying save the bees? Bees have got nothing to do with wildflowers, you ignorant cunts. It's all about crop harvesting, for fuck's sake. Have you ever considered that the money for this giant Save the Bees advertising campaign had to come from somewhere? Someone's paying for all this shit, right? That's getting this brainworm in everybody's head. Have you ever... The reason they don't want you to kill the bees is very simple. They've spent an awful lot of money genetically modifying them to do a very specific job. The problem is that they starve out the natural pollinators, which leads to the destruction of wildlife. So all these genetically modified bees are then loaded onto trucks and transported from place to place around the country, and everywhere they go, they starve out the natural pollinators because there isn't enough food to go around. The way things are going, the only plants that will be allowed to exist in the future are the ones that we humans decide specifically to pollinate with our genetically modified bees, because you're going to kill everything else. I've been told that this question only concerns beekeepers, but the opposite is absolutely true. Beekeepers are doing nothing wrong. It's genetically enhanced bees from bee industries that are used to transport all around the massive industries. That's the problem. I checked his fucking pro. Yeah, people think I'm a druggie because I've got fucking eating problems and shit, and I've got depression and anxiety, and I don't look after myself. Nice one, mate. Yeah, you're on the right side of history. Fucking Yeah, this is the part that really gets me, right? Because obviously everybody's running around going, save the bees, save the bees. And then when you prove them wrong, they're like, shut the fuck up about bees. Like, people act like this is some kind of big secret, but it's not a big secret. I'm just literally the only person who saw an advert and thought, that's a bit weird though, and did some fucking research. Do some research, you freak. I genuinely wish that was true, but I'm afraid I'm older than you, so I remember the advertising campaigns. All you're stuck with is like these echoes from a distant past, mostly, but you still hear it all the time. Is it really so hard to believe that genetically modified bees are being used to starve out natural pollinators, which will lead to the reduction of wildflowers and the reduction of birds, which in turn will lead to more reduction? Check out the backlash in the comments, man. Check out how much people will fight for these little insects that they think are cute. But they don't realise that what they're fighting for is the starvation of, like, all of nature. Yeah, I was a pretty boy when I was a kid as well, but then I decided that I couldn't tell who the nice people were from the shallow people. But trust me, you'll stand out real well nowadays. People are asking me why I care so much about killing all the bees and why I'm preaching that we should kill all the bees, and it's literally because I'm the only person who's noticed that they are starving out all the natural pollinators, leading to the death of all the wildflowers. People are... Yeah, this is the part that really gets me, right? Because obviously everybody's running around going, save the bees, save the bees. And then when you prove them wrong, they're like, shut the fuck up about bees. Like, I'm the party pooper, you're killing the fucking planet, dickhead.